floating away from them. "Ah, poor girl," he said. "You got stung." Sonny snorted complacently as if in agreement, and then reared up, threw Enzo backward into the grass, and bolted, riderless, down the pitch. Enzo lay there for a moment, the breath knocked out of him, staring at the cloudless Florida sky. It had not been a bad fall as falls went, and he knew that once he could breathe again, he'd be fine. But he was also pissed, and he knew it would be better to get his temper under control before he chased down the errant horse. It never helped to be mad when dealing with ponies. "Rivas?" came a distant voice that made him close his eyes and smile ruefully. Of course she would find him like this. "Enzo? Are you okay?" She was closer. He struggled to a sitting position, still a little winded but determined not to be on his back when she reached him. "I'm fine," he said, and then almost fell over again. He was so dizzy. Damn that horse. He bent his head to his knees and closed his eyes. "You don't look fine. You look like you got knocked on your ass." He slowly turned his gaze up toward Antonia Black and felt his heart speed up in a way that had nothing to do with his fall. It was getting worse. He could hardly look at her anymore without being filled with an almost paralyzing ache of attraction. She reached out her hand, her dark eyes twinkling with amusement, and after a beat of hesitation, he took it and let her help him to his feet. For a moment after he stood, he let his hand linger in hers, allowing himself the luxury of feeling the tingling heat that seemed to generate from her skin into his. But then he dropped it, remembering the runaway horse. "Did you see where Sonny went?" he asked. She laughed. "She pranced right into the barn. I'm sure one of the grooms has her by now." He nodded and winced, already sore from the fall. "She got stung," he said. "Oh," said Noni, "I know. I saw the whole thing." He smiled and rubbed his neck. "Hot horse," he said ruefully. She smiled back. He felt his chest squeeze in response. "Hot horse," she agreed. She looked him over. "You sure you're all right?" He nodded. "I'll probably be sore, but nothing is broken." "Good," she said. They gazed at each other for a moment. "Are you going to Hendy's party tonight?" he finally said, needing to break the tension. Her mood suddenly changed. She frowned, and a red flush touched the creamy skin of her cheeks and chest. "Yeah, I guess," she said in an abrupt tone. "Anyway, if you're really okay, I'm going to head on home." She quickly turned to go. "I'll see you at the party." He watched Antonia walk away, heading for her truck. He had the impulse to call out, stop her, ask her what was wrong. But before he could act, Noni swung up into her truck, her platinum blonde hair streaming behind her, slammed the door with a bang, and was gone in a cloud of dust. He clenched and unclenched his fist, reminding himself that every time she slipped away, it was better for both of them, less complicated, safer. Nothing good, he reminded himself sternly for the 10,000,000th time as he started back toward the barn, could come from anything happening between us. She is my boss's sister. She is at Del Campo. I would only end up hurting her. The words were his litany, but lately they were starting to lose their power. He shook his head. Being stern with himself wasn't working anymore. He could feel that he was starting to weaken. Being around her at work, being her friend and confidant, without ever hinting at his real feelings, had begun to exhaust him. It was a part he knew he could not play much longer. All his good reasons for keeping his distance, all the rules of the barn and vows to himself that he had clung to over the years, had started to feel weightless compared to his growing feelings for this woman. The many times he had repeated to himself that it was unprofessional, that he wasn't fit to be in a relationship, that he didn't deserve her, that she was too fragile. It was all beginning to feel as insubstantial as a fairy story, a cautionary tale he'd heard as a child, meant to keep him away from